Check, check, check. Microphone check. $1960 TAD. Back before we had a name for the championship game. Tad Bowl 1. You know, they didn't have a name for the Super Bowl. I mean, I think they might have referred to it as the Super Bowl, but they mostly called it the AFL NFL Championship. Then the Super Bowl name kind of took over. Cheers to everybody out there on a Wednesday night. Welcome to the first episode ever of Tad Classics. I'll wait for give people a chance to assemble here. We got some fun stuff to get into today. Let's see here. Let's pull up the old Dynasty file, shall we? 1960 standings. Hear myself. Okay. Cleveland Browns, they were the top seed. They had a 10-4 record. Hello there. Randy Fairfield drafted the Houston team and played half the season with them. Then pieced. Disaster Master took over. They were doing pretty well. I think they were like 8-2 or something like that. And he finished 10-4. And then got past the Buffalo Bills in the semifinals. Let's take a look at the Cleveland, I believe. It was maybe the Bears that made it? No. That was the next season. The Bears got past the 49ers. And I'm thinking of 1961. Yeah, okay. Let's start over. It was the Texans. They were in one semifinal, Dallas Texans. With Game High, he took out the Eagles in round one in a kind of a historic crush fest. And so the Browns got past them on one side of the bracket. No, the Oilers got past them on one side of the bracket, and the Browns got past the 49ers in a memorable a memorable opening round win over the Bills in overtime. Hey, thanks, Joey. Glad you could check it out. Let's do another 1960 jam here. Does anybody remember this one? This is a good one. If you guys like these 1960 jams, good to revisit. I thought, we got a lot of NSVs out there. So, a little bit, every now and then we should go back and check them out. A little bit after a few seasons, go check it out and kind of revisit a classic moment in Tad history. Got all these NSVs, man. Might as well put them to use. Am I right? All right, so let's take a look at the teams, man. This is the championship game, and the thing that stood out the most. By the way, this NSV started a little bit late. Yeah, Disaster, man. You just jumped in and just made the shit happen. Although I think he gave you a pretty good record to start with. And he drafted a pretty good team. So here's the funny thing about this. Brewdog's new condition checker has a win probability. The win probability for the Browns right now is 50.1. So this on paper was a very even matchup. Gotta love it. The Brewmetrics say Browns have a 105 offense and a 112 defense, whereas the Oilers have a 145 offense and a 79 defense. So, who are some of the key players here? Browns, they got 60 Browns best in TAD so far. Oh, the defense? Oh, according to them, no chance. No chance they were the best. They're very good, but there's been some great defenses over the years. The one that comes to mind, at least on paper, as far as you know what? Let's take a look at the numbers, though. Let's take a look. got some kind of... Let's take a look at what they achieved. See if they achieved anything worth noting. I know they had a good defense. Archie Matzos I think was one of the early picks here for these guys. Well, they have one record. They have the second most interceptions, tied for the second most interceptions ever. Oh, that doesn't keep track of team defense on here? Bummer. That's too bad. We got interceptions and sacks, and guess what? They're tied for number 2, just one back of the all-time record set by the 61 Eagles. Or 62 Eagles. So they had 20 interceptions. How'd they do it? Well, the core of this team really is Archie Matzos was a real monster at middle linebacker. He had 56 interceptions. He's just the ultimate nickel linebacker. And then Doug Atkins, he is watching, I believe. Doug Atkins brought the ruckus at defensive end, really at the top of his game. He's got 75 hitting power. And then Jim Schaffner's kind of the leader of the secondary. And then he had a huge season out of Humpy Joe Scudero, really the one weak link in his whole that and his defensive line. Humpy Joe had, I think he had 4 INTs in one game in this year with 31 interceptions. That bottom corner, Watt. Ben Agajanin is the kicker. The quarterback duties were split between Charlie Connerly and Earl Morrall. The running backs, Dick Bass, Ollie Matson. Great pair of legendary running backs there. And then Max McGee, Chris Burford, Joe Walton are the starting receivers. Let's talk about the Oilers' defense here. You know, it's just kind of a pish posh. But the one thing that he does have is he's got a bunch of manimal dudes. He's got Smokey Stover, pretty good linebacker. Dick Zamansky and Wayne Hansen. Those guys are all decent linebackers. And then the cornerbacks are Jesse Wittenden's pretty decent. Roger Donahue's not that great. But then the safeties, Richie McCabe and Bob Zeman, are decent. This is not a good defense overall, but it's got enough good players. I remember he was pretty good at using the conditions to kind of mix it up. And, I mean, I'm talking about Randy. I don't really remember how Disaster played with this team on defense, but, I mean, I'm sure that he liked the offense because the offense is loaded. Norm Van Brocklin is the QB in his final season, his only season in TAD. Johnny Morris, before he became a big-time receiver that Stu's got right now in 1964, he was a running back. He's got 50 max speed. And then Buddy Dial was on his bullshit. Top of his game in 1960, 56 max speed, 69 reception. And then you got a Red Phillips, who's 44 max speed, 75 reception. And then Billy Houghton, 69 reception, 38 max speed. And a pretty good offensive line to boot. Really good offensive line. So the offense is pretty dope. The defense is meh. And then the Browns are just very balanced with mostly focusing on defense. Let's get into the game, shall we? This Tad Bowl 1. No fanfare. NSV started a little bit late. But hey, we got footage. We got all the footage for you. Let's get into it. Cheers. Thanks for checking out a little something different for tonight. Tad Classics. Got a lot of good NSVs, man. This is just the tip of the iceberg. But this is Tad Bowl 1. I mean, Super Bowl 1, iconic moment in football history. Tad Bowl 1. I hope it goes down equally important. Here comes Dick Bass. That was a nice look to Max McGee that just didn't go to start off. Charlie Connerly, man, he was a really good quarterback. He's at the end of his rope here. I don't know if he had any more seasons beyond this in TAD. He might have been 40 years old when this season. So now we got some pressure from Smokey Stover. And he's going to go deep to Max. He's going to get a diver. But he's not going to have any hitting power to bring he's not going to have any taps. A tapless experience there with the diver. But big play. Cleveland is in the red zone to start off Tad Bowl 1. He's keyed in on the Dick Bass handoff there. Dick Bass, I believe, was 1960 Dick of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. Which would later to go on to be a very prestigious thing. Hard fought. And now we have a nice pass. Charlie Connerly finds Chris Burford streaking at the bottom there, taking advantage of the one kind of weak link of the Houston. Well, there's a few weak links, but he's the weakest, the most noticeable weak link in the secondary. And Chris Burford just burns him. Chris Burford, not really known for being a burner, but he's a good route runner. Good route runner. He gets open, and Connolly finds him. Nice feed by Camp right there to get a TD and start off this game with a Cleveland touchdown. Yeah, I mean, how could you remember? It's kind of a while ago at this time. I believe this game took place sometime in May 2020. That's what the records would seem to indicate. So, yeah, that checks out. I believe the first game was March 2000 or March 2020. Did we get a season done in 2 months? Yeah, we used to be a little more ruthless with it. Oh, Phillips in your eye hole. Archie Matsos. And now we got some stunting. Red Phillips on Archie Matsos, who had a monster season for Cleveland, really. Cleveland's defense was really strong this season. It was like a no-fly zone back there with good secondary, and Archie Matsos being a 56 INT guy. You didn't know what he was going to do either. Sometimes he would dart in and stuff plays in the backfield. Camp was playing really well with Archie. But Red Phillips is big time. 75 receptions, Red Phillips. He's a major possession receiver, and he's been coming up with key grabs, really. He's still doing it for Pittsburgh and Joey B, even though he's kind of getting to the end of his run. I think 1965, he kind of is a shell of his former self. Here we go. Go and try to find Ollie Matson. There's guys in the mix for Houston. Almost blocked, but no. Finds Ollie. Ollie Matson had a great game for the Bills in 1962 Tad Bowl 3. Connolly's just going to get tackled for a 2-yard gain there. That's the end of the first quarter. Let's check out the condish, shall we? I don't really remember. Oh, there's a date involved. Let's check out the condish. Okay. Dick Bass is in good. Burse. Jesse Wittenden and Richie McCabe, two nice defenders to have at your disposal, are in good. And Donahue, who got burned for the TD, and Bob Zeman, who's a nice, strong safety, they're both in bad. So the numbers, his defense goes up from 79 to 95. Whereas the Browns, I think they were 1-0 something. Just the Dick Bass one condition love takes them up to 127. That seems like a lot, but I'm telling you, you get a 56 max speed running back at your disposal. It is a big difference between that and 50. So not really super surprised by that. But yeah, the Brew Metrics really like it. If you can have one running back who's feeling it, that's going to bump you up big time. Got Rainier Seltzer tonight. Thanks for watching Camp and Disaster. It's nice to have you guys in there. Yeah, it was like 105, now you're 127. Let's tab it. Tab it. Disaster getting his condition checker. Disaster, you remember what the issue is here? Getting your condition checker set up? Never mind, I'm just kidding. Here we go. McCabe, yeah, he's in good. He's kind of a beast right now. 56 rush power, 56 INT. And he's going to try to get back on McGee. McGee dropped it. McGee dropped it? Max McGee, the hero of our lifetime with the 63 reception? That's a shocker. He wants to hit Dick Bass there, but nope, not going to have it. McCabe says no thank you. Going to have to launch it for Matson. And it looks like Connolly's got the arm to get there. Oh, it's a jumper at the 5. And shake. Oh, he shook himself out of that touchdown. But he's got it at the 3-yard line. Ollie Matson deep at tight end. Love putting Ollie at tight end. I put him there all the time. Oh, now we're tossing it down to Ollie, down low, but it's off the money just enough so the guys can get there. And there's McCabe on his horse to get the tackle for a 0-yard gain. What a wild play that was. I love that Pro T Camp when things get crazy. And now we got Dick Bass looking for a hole somewhere. He finds it. It's a touchdown. Dick Bass showing you why he was 1960 Dick of the Year with the nice little darting run right there. Found a little seam on the run 1. You don't see that too often, that little look right there, but Camp spied it out and found it for a 6. Browns up 14-7. This guy's terrible, this Horner guy. He's in there just for his fodder. He's 31 max speed, 31 reception receiver. Not good. All right, well, the Oilers are really, they got kind of a big one. Johnny Morris isn't bad. He's a 50 max speed running back. He's down to 44. Maury Humans is into good for the Browns defense, the defensive lineman. Here's the Matsos factor. He plugs up the middle, and then Disaster tries to hit him with the juke. It doesn't work out. It's only a 2-yard gain. Matsos is in big trouble now. Morris, though, having trouble getting through the gaps there. Those gaps are usually there, but the Cleveland defense with its 115, they got some nice drones. Going to try to hit the hot route here, but look at Matsos spies it, and oh my goodness, it's Dean Derby. Dean Derby County with the interception there. Big play right there. That's a pretty decent look usually, but, you know, Camp kind of spied it. It looked like he was really all up, you know, all kind of all over that shit. And now we got Connerly with the chance to put some more points on the board. Disaster playing smart defense there. McCabe really has a lot of range right now. And he breaks it up. Charlie Connerly got to make some better decisions than that. Up 7 points here. Trying to make something happen though. Got to respect it. Here we go. Long field goal from Agajanin. Oh, it's blocked. Houston with life here after the turnover. And it's Daniel Kochiko who's in good condition. Bringing the ruckus right there. The block, and he scoops it. 1:12 left for Houston to do something tied up here going into half. Tad Bowl 1. You're watching Tad Bowl 1. This game originally aired May 2020. We're running it back. We're running back the classic NSVs and TAD. Van Brocklin tries to find his receiver, but Matsos covers everything. That's another one where most guys are going to let that up. That little seamer right there. That was a kind of stuff that Randy was really killing with, and really Disaster has a lot of similar strengths to his game. Namely, he's able to hit short passes or find the little seams that people kind of don't really realize are even issues. So this is a good. This was definitely a good team for Disaster. Definitely fit his skills. You know, he's the following year he would get a chance to draft his team, and he would draft a humdinger. He's had really good seasons ever since. But I don't think he was really too mad at having this roster at his disposal. The one thing that was, I always remember about the draft is that Randy made the first over. Was he not in? Is that possible? He's not in right now. What? Yeah, Dial's not in the game, according to the condition checker. Did he throw it to Shockley on that interception? He's got Shockley in at wide receiver 2, who's terrible. Oh my goodness. Or is there something functified about this ROM, which is not the ROM this game was played on? Well, that's just wild. Okay. Now okay, I just updated the thing, and it says that Dial's in the game. So now it's saying that Dial's in the game. I don't know what. When I updated it you played Shockley the first quarter. I think you got Dial in there now. Yeah, where the interception was thrown. You're trying to hit Dial on the seamer with his 56 max speed, which would have maybe worked. Yeah, just to explain what the hell's going on here. Disaster probably played Shockley in the first quarter, or at least had him in there when he threw the interception. When I updated the condition checker, it said that Shockley was in the game. And then I think he just put him in. He just put Dial in. Yeah. So then now I update it. It says that Dial's in at wide receiver 2. Because the condition checker, the new condition checker, shows you who's in the game at each position, which is awesome. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that was a huge blunder. But now, it's kind of all good. Houston's got the ball, down 7. And here we go with the second half. Let's tell you about the conditions. Jim Schaffner and Dean Derby are in bad. Key secondary members for the Browns. Maury Humans is just fucking feeling it. He's an excellent. Galen Fisk, is a nice outside linebacker option. Nothing really changing for the Houston offense. Johnny Moore still in bad. Everybody else is in average. So the defense with those two secondary guys, it went down to 104 on the stat sheet. And Oilers are still at 127. But their defense is, we'll get to that later. So, but Johnny Morrison bad, that definitely hurts. Makes them a little one-dimensional. And the dimension that they have, Matsos tried to get frisky there. The passing game dimension, it's tough to get yards versus this Cleveland defense, although a couple guys in bad, you might see some CCs in the mix here all of a sudden. Puts it on the deck. Ooh, that, at least it went out of bounds, but I think he might have had the first down if he didn't fumble it there. So let's see if that is an issue. Trying to get Dial involved. Look at Dial just annihilates the entire Cleveland situation right there with the big catch in traffic. Have some. Just want to see who's blowing me up here. Cool. All right, here we go. And Dial again with the look. Not gonna be able to do it. Trying to get it to Dial. McCann's in the game. I didn't mention McCann's in good. Yeah, McCann is a better option. It's so funny because Randy basically was a little confused about the A-line, B-line when he made his first overall draft pick of Norm Van Brocklin. It wasn't the first draft pick of the... Ooh, tries to squeeze it in there. That would have been a cool one. 4th and 6. Oilers, big play here. Big play. So, here we go. McCann's going to have to make this happen. Oh, no. Oh, no, and he goes out of bounds to boot. Maybe could have tapped him there. I'm not sure. Oh, boy. Struggle, but that was good defense by Camp. Anyway, so I was going to tell you. So Randy was a little confused about A-lines, B-lines, and he ended up getting his B-line with this Van Brocklin, his first pick, who ended up just being a 6 max speed, 56 PC QB. Not what you want in the first round for first-round talent. But then just to double up the debacle of that, McGee's open. Oh, good defense. McCabe is there, who's still in good condition. To double up the debacle of that pick, he ended up taking Lamar McCann, who got the A-line, his backup, and anytime McCann had the condition edge, he would get the nod. He would play. So he played like a quarter of the season. You know, your number one overall pick is on the bench. Over a quarter of the season, not great. McCabe's going to have to get his ass back. Connerly's just going to take the underneath run here, set up a 4th and 3, and probably go for it here. Goes to the shotgun here. See if the Houston defense, who's batting a 91 right now on the Brew metrics. Smokey Stover getting involved. Smokey was a good... Max McGee's open. Got to take a chance, but that's not the time. Letting up a big play to Max McGee, who gets in for 6. Makes up for his earlier drop with the burst to the end zone. And Cleveland has taken control of Tad Bowl 1. Charlie Connerly giving you what you need. Precision passing to Max McGee. Max doing stuff out here. Here comes little Jack Horner, buoyed by a 38 max speed right tackle right now. Jerry Corneliuson is in good. The Houston offensive line is definitely a strength. Right now he's got 363 hitting power dudes and 156 hitting power dude. Jim Ray Smith, who's also got 44 max speed. Watch out for that. Here we go. Lamar McCann is in the spot here in Tad Bowl 1. Trying to deliver the goods for Houston. Trying to make something happen. Waits till the last second to launch this one. And it might go all the way to the end zone. Buddy Dial in the spot. Catches it. Just what they needed. Houston gets a big touchdown right when they needed it. Lamar McCann throws it the absolute length of the field. Under one goalpost to the corner. where Buddy Dial snags it in your eye hole. And it's 21-14. A lot of CCs being delivered here by the Houston offense, giving them a chance. It's 21-14 going into the fourth quarter of Tad Bowl 1. Kowalczyk in the spot. Great return. Gets it out past the 15. Jerry Perry is the kicker for Houston. And what about the condition? Let's check it out. Couldn't open file. Oh, what a disaster. Okay, well, a lot of the same scenes for the Houston defense. Now Smokey Stover's in bad. That takes one other cool kind of guy to pick off the table. Dick Bass is back down to average. He was an average of the third quarter too. I didn't mention that. Ollie Matson though is in good, so he gets the nod. He's got brings a little bit more to the table. And Earl Morrall is in good, so he's going to be brought off the bench to deliver the championship for Cleveland. Sorry, Charlie. Nope, he's sticking with Charlie. Never mind. He's sticking with the veteran. They got almost identical stats. Earl Morrall has one more max speed. So, sticking with Charlie, the veteran. That's the approach that Camp's taking here. It would be weird to change horses midstream here. Nice little dump off to Ollie, who brings a lot to the table as a receiver. He's got 50 reception. Never mind. Just kidding. Changed his mind. Nice job, Connerly, on that first pass, though. So Earl Morrall is here. Dan's least favorite player. He's in the spot here in Tad Bowl 1. Pitches it to Ollie Matson, who does all the work there all the way down to the 35-yard line. Cleveland could smell it. 3:35 to go. Here comes Ollie back in the mix. Ollie gets another first down. Almost had that dive. He was poised. You could tell the animation had started. But nope. Got smoked. Now it's Earl Morrall. Pitches it. Not a lot of blocking here, and McCabe and friends take him down. Didn't have that second swinging guy. Makes it a little tough to get yardage there on that play. Now we got to pass Earl Morrall with a chance. And he's going to find Ron Burton underneath. Ron Burton snowboards, bringing the ball inside the 20. On the 14-yard line, back to pass one. McGee with the streak. Looks like, ooh, what's Earl going to do here? He's doing a great job to scramble. There's that 19 max speed. That's why you bring him in. Gets 5 yards out of nothing there. Houston defense not able to bring him down. Really not a lot of drone awesomeness at their disposal. That was kind of their weakness. They were really just trying to outscore people, and they mostly did it. Here we go. McCabe's going to get the nod here all day, every day. Oh, McCabe went for the kill shot, and Earl Morrall, another kill shot, missed him. Wow, Earl Morrall scrambles it. After all the Earl Morrall hate, I totally forgot that he was the hero of Tad Bowl 1. He's got the Browns with a 28-14 lead with 2 minutes to go. Richie McCabe went for the kill shot. They had to try something because we had the leaking guy there, the leaking halfback, Ollie Matson. That was just a little bit too much to deal with. I think he had to try to go aggressive. Disaster, I think, made the right choice there. Execution didn't quite come through. Lamar McCann, the quarterback, is in excellent condition. Red Phillips is in good with 81 reception. Cleveland defense really not on top of their shit, although all of a sudden now Doug Atkins is in good, so that's 81 hitting power coming your way. Watch out. Houston O-line holds it down. McCann going back. Second player probably not going to get on onside, so this game's probably over, but McCann launches it. 54 seconds to go. Not looking good. We'll try to hit Phillips. Doesn't get it to go. 44 seconds to go. The first championship in TAD is under a minute to go. Earl Morrall with the big touchdown scramble has Cleveland on the precipice here. And, oh, it's rejected. Archie Matsos gets some. Norm Van Brocklin in for one last hoist. His last action of his TAD career, which only lasted one season, but a spectacular pro football career. He's going to get a nice little timer to Buddy Dial. Nope. It's going to fall incomplete, and that's the way it ends. One more second. We're going to have a sportsmanship punt from the 10-yard line. Max McGee. He's actually going to get taken down. The bar just freezes. That's interesting. I wonder if you can out-tap a guy there and then still punt it. The bar froze. I'm guessing that the play is over at that point. You can't get out of the grasp. I don't remember that. What a bizarre finish. I don't think I've ever seen that, by the way. Cleveland wins. Tadpole won 28-14. I'm curious about that. Let's see. I'm thinking of a different year. It's a little confusing with these two competitors. Yeah, that was the score. 28-14. I was just kind of curious about that. Anyway, so there you saw it. The conditions were interesting. I mean, I guess you could say Disaster had a blunder with Buddy Dial not in the game to start. You could say that was a factor, but I don't know. He did have the game, or he did have the ball down just 7 as the second half started, so it was all there for him. Just couldn't quite get it done. The Cleveland defense was smothering versus the pass, I remember, all season, really, for this team. Archie Matsos was really a top-notch player in TAD in 1960, and you just kind of saw it right there. He just was all over the field, and just, it's most of the time you're kind of like, oh, cool, he picked a linebacker. I'm going to launch it into coverage or just throw it over his head. But no, it wasn't really there versus the Cleveland defense. Archie was he was getting back there, getting picks, breaking stuff up, causing drama. Mari Human's an excellent, didn't seem to have a huge impact on the game, but Cleveland defense got the job done. Only holding this Oilers team to 14 is well done. Disaster could have used Johnny Morris as his running back there to be something other than in bad condition. That would have been nice. But he did have a hero emerge off the bench. Lamar McCann was excellent at the end of the game. Lamar McCann, who this was before he was dubbed a psychopath. But yeah, he was kind of a real loose cannon. Vince Lombardi had him in 1960, and he did not like him. Got rid of him. Weirdo, I think, was the term that he used. I don't actually know. But thanks for checking out this action here. This is just a little fun, a little something here while we're waiting for some guys to, get some games in here. Maybe I'll bring another one to you sometime down the road. I don't know. I'm just getting these NSVs organized. I figured this was a good place to start. Back at the beginning, 1960, the first season of TAD, and it was a really fun season. Really, there has not been one season that has not been a very fun season, but I still remember so many great moments from that initial season. And it ends with a huge win for Camp and the Cleveland Browns, who cap off a 10-4 regular season and the number 1 overall seed with a victory over a tough opponent who also went 10-4 on the season, but the point diff meant that they had to go on the road. So maybe the point diff factor was the key factor. Man, there's a lot of talk about point diff, and a lot of it, sometimes I think it's a little silly, but point diff was a factor here. Home game for Cleveland. Seemed like that was a factor. All right. Well, we'll keep point diff stays for now, but I'm just saying, as commissioner, I just noticing that it's kind of a big deal. I like having the reward for the home teams, though. So the higher seed, I like it. Kind of like it like that. Coin flip or something like that would have been whack. So as good as way as any decided, probably. I don't know. I'm gonna think about that. It's interesting that he got to host Tadpole 1 because of point differential. All right, good times, good. Memory lane back there. Thank you, Johnny Horton, for helping me set that up. And thank you, Audrey, for just existing. You're a beacon. And thanks to everybody who watched. That's it for now. Good night, everyone.